Okay, everyone. So for those that may not be familiar with me, I am Dr. Felicia, physiotherapist and certified health coach. I have been the proprietor of Adley Physiotherapy. That is located on Mackey Street in the Meldon Mall, now called the Mackey Street Plaza. Okay, and over there at Adley Physiotherapy, I've been there 5 years in private practice, and I have helped hundreds of patients over the years reach their physiotherapy goals. I'm now also a certified health coach, so I'm not only helping people reach physiotherapy goals, but now also their health and wellness goals, and it has been pretty exciting thus far. People are getting real excited about. Today I was talking with one of my clients about the weight just melting off, and she loved that terminology. So we're keeping it, okay? So we're having people crush their health goals, dropping off those pounds, seeing themselves differently, and getting really excited about it. So it's been good stuff, y'all. And my mantra is that I teach Black millennial women how to age with grace by making better lifestyle choices today, including changes to their eating and movement habits so that they can enjoy a fabulous future. Okay. And if that's something that you want to do, then you are definitely in the right place. Okay. All right. So let's see, what else can I tell you about me? I do hold a few certifications. I'm a certified lymphedema therapist, as well as a certified kinesiotaping practitioner. That's on top of being a certified health coach. Okay, so that's a little about me. Also, I have a bachelor's and a doctorate from Gannon University in Erie, Pennsylvania. And my doctorate is in physical therapy. Okay, I went to school in the States, so it's physical therapy. Here in the Bahamas, we call it physiotherapy. Other countries like Australia, they say physiotherapy too. But it really all means the same thing. Okay, we help people with movement dysfunction. We help people get back on their feet and back to their regular life, right? Or as close to that as possible. That's what we're all about. We're here to change lives, okay? Serious business and true story. Okay, today's weather. I don't know how y'all felt about today's weather. Today's weather reminded me a lot of going to school in Erie, Pennsylvania. It was a dreary day. It just rained. It was just gray all day, y'all. All day. All right. Amazing. All right. So, any information that I share with you in this broadcast is not meant to be taken as medical advice. Okay. We're going to get down into intermittent fasting this evening. And it's definitely something that I would advise anybody to make sure that you either check in with your physician or your dietitian in order to see if this is all right for you. Okay, you'll want to make sure that you are cleared medically before you make any changes like we're going to discuss this evening. I'm just giving you some information and some insight. I don't know anybody's specifics of their case, their health, their medical history, so I can't make any recommendations for anyone in particular. Okay, so anything that I say, you have to take it with a grain of salt. It's just information that I am sharing. Okay. So please make sure that you are under the care of a licensed healthcare professional before you undertake any changes such as the following. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, intermittent fasting. That's going to be what we're talking about tonight. Our topic is how to tame your hunger and slim down. So one way would be through trying something like intermittent fasting. Okay, and this is an eating plan that includes periods of fasting and eating on a regular schedule. Okay, so you can call it either like a eating window, different periods of eating. You have different terms that you may hear. Okay, so the focus with something like intermittent fasting is going to be more when you eat rather than what you eat. You know, when you think about like diets, it's all about, okay, you have the keto diet, you have the paleo diet, you have all of these different things. That's like, okay, it's more about what you're eating. But intermittent fasting is much more concerned with when you eat. Okay. Hi, Kara. Thanks for joining. Irene, what do you say? The weather made you want to stay in bed, but you had to work. Yes, adult life had to get up. Mm-mm-mm. And if you don't work from home, you had to get in your car and you had to drive through the wet weather to work and back. Okay? Mm. that adult life. So we're talking about intermittent fasting. And we were just talking about how intermittent fasting is more about when you eat rather than what you eat. Okay. Fasting several hours or reducing the number of meals some days out of the week helps the body to burn fat. Okay. You have another comment about the weather here. Someone says, yes, this weather is best enjoyed at home. I didn't mind it too much today while I was inside. It wasn't raining when I actually got to work. When I got inside, it was fine. When I had to come out, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. And I left my umbrella in the car, oh my Lord. And I left my jacket with the hood on it in the closet. Yeah. All right, let me get focused. Focus. All right. So the fasting, again, several hours or reducing, either you fast for several hours or you reduce the amount of meals that you have. Okay. And this is some days out of the week. So I'm going to break down actually a couple of different types of intermittent fasting. Okay. So there's several different ways that a person could do intermittent fasting, different methods. Okay. Here's a quick fun fact for you. Our bodies have evolved to go for several days, hours, or even longer without food because in prehistoric times, people had to hunt for food or gather like nuts and berries and things like that. So it took so much time to do this, like to hunt for game or to like gather enough berries when they went out to like forage, that their bodies adapted to going without food for longer periods. So this was a long time ago. This was before Walmart. This was before Super Value. This was before Kroger. This was before Whole Foods. This was before Quality Supermarket. This was before Fresh Market. Okay, so you couldn't just swing to the grocery store and pick up whatever you needed. You had to go out and forage or hunt. So you didn't know if you would come across enough food. So their bodies had to make adaptations, right? Interesting stuff. If you think back to the way things were a long time ago, things were not so simple like they are now. So, for instance, a lot of the reasons that we're also just becoming heavier as people, um, different things, we have cars now, whereas people had to walk previously, most of the places that they went. Um, then you also have things like you have television, you have the internet. So rather than us going to sleep earlier, we're staying up much later. So because we're up, we are eating. Okay. So because of these changes culturally and also with technology and things like that, it's having an effect on our health. Okay. Not all of these effects are positive. Okay. Rain says that she usually eats breakfast and then eats later at 6 p.m. So we're going to talk about some different windows. It's almost like you're doing it's like you're skipping the midday meal. But I'll talk with you in a moment about some of the different ways that are recommended that a person may want to try to do the intermittent fasting, right? All right, but that's an interesting way. It's almost the opposite way from some of the methods that we'll discuss. So let's jump into the types of intermittent fasting. Types of intermittent fasting are, firstly, alternate day fasting. So this is a modified fasting, which is every other day. So it's like one day you eat regular, the next day you fast, and then you just cycle like that every other day. So on a fasting day, you would want to take in just about 500 calories. And on the regular days than you would eat normally. So if anybody actually knows how much calories a person would take in, like, or it's recommended, how many calories a person should be taking in on a regular, like, eating regimen in a day, drop it in the comments for me. So I'll give you all just a couple of seconds. If anybody knows, just quickly drop it in the comments, and then I'll just kind of like confirm or let you guys know what the correct answer is. So my question is, does anybody know about how many calories a person would want to take in a day on a regular eating regimen? Okay, we have one vote for 1,200. Anybody agrees with that or disagrees with that? If you want, you could just throw out a number. Okay, we have one vote for 1,200. All right, I'm going to give you the answer. It's actually about 2,000 calories. So if you think, oh, and we have another vote here for 1,500, okay? It's actually about, like, you can think of it as being a 2,000 calorie diet is like a healthy kind of like place to start. If a person is trying to just maintain the weight. If someone wants to lose weight, they'll want to come in under the 2,000 calories, okay? All right. So if you're thinking about the alternate day fasting, then so they're talking about cutting that to down to about 25%. That's about a quarter. Okay. So yeah, 2,000 calories is like regular. So on a fasting day for alternate day fasting, you'd be cutting that down to 25% of your normal eating, and then you coming in at around 500 calories for the day. All right. So that's alternate day fasting. Another way of fast, time restricted eating. So time restricted eating is, for example, 16-8, 10. So let me tell you what, okay? And then for example, the 16-8, you're fasting for 16 hours and eating within an 8-hour window. So that's, for example, that's like your job, okay? A 9 to 5, it's a shift. It's an eating shift. 9 to 5, I coined that one, okay? That one wasn't in the literature. An eating shift, okay? 9 to 5, 11 to 7, 12 to 8. So that's the 8-hour window within a person could eat, okay? So outside of that is when the person would be fasting. So let's take the 9 to 5. That means a person could eat between 9 a.m., take all their meals in between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., okay? And this is still when a person should be shooting for around 2,000 calories. You shouldn't go crazy, okay? You shouldn't go crazy and hog down like 3,000 calories. You shouldn't do that, okay? So a person could get up, they could have their breakfast around 9 or 10 or whatever time they're comfortable with or whatever time they get hungry. They could have their lunch, regular. They could have their dinner. But the eating needs to stop by 5 o'clock, okay? That's if a person chooses to do 9 to 5. If they want to do 11 to 7 and go a little bit later, they could do that. Okay. They could still have 3 meals. They could do 12 to 8. You can have your 3 square meals. Try to avoid too much snacking when you're doing intermittent fasting, though, even on those off days. Not too much snacking, but basically the idea is that you could eat regular. Okay. So this is a popular method because you can be asleep for most of the fasting hours anyway. Okay. Only thing is you have to stop yourself from like eating too late or too early, depending on which are the hours or the time frame that you choose. Okay. This is actually a safe way for people to introduce their bodies to intermittent fasting because there are about 4 methods that we're going to discuss tonight. So this particular method with the time restricted eating is going to be the one that is going to be easier for most people to start with. Okay. And a person could always switch to a different method later if they think that something else is going to suit them better. It is advised to try a few different ones out and find out through trial and error what works best for you. So be prepared to play around with the times, okay? That's really the only way that you're going to find out. So whether you're going to be a person who, if you wake up hungry, if you usually wake up hungry and then you're putting yourself on a 12 to 8, it's probably not going to work the best for you. So, you may want to go with something that is earlier, you know. So you have to think about like what time how late you stay up, how early you get up. Do you wake up hungry? Are you someone who really isn't hungry until almost lunchtime? So all of those are going to be considerations for you. Okay, another quick fun fact. It could take 2 to 4 weeks for a person's body to get used to intermittent fasting. So give it some time. Stick with it. Try to be consistent. Really give it a chance. The cravings will pass, okay? Because if we're used to eating all day, snacking, eating late at night, starting to eat as soon as we get up, it's going to be an adjustment, okay? It is an adjustment for most people because we used to just pretty much eat whenever, right? So give it a chance, give it some time, and really, really try it out. Go all in. Make the effort if you're going to try intermittent fasting. We have a comment here. I find it better to wait to eat because when I start eating, it's like I can't stop. What's that comment that we make here? What it is? You open up your belly. So now when we say you open up your belly when you start eating, or you stretch your belly, y'all can tell me in the comments. What do we say here in the Bahamas? All right. So a third method of intermittent fasting. We're going to talk about 4 this evening. There are at least there are about 7. Okay, at least about 7. Okay. Third method, the 24-hour fast, or eat stop eat stop. 24 hours. This involves a full 24 hours of no food. Who's strong enough to take that? 24 hours of no food. Okay. We know that when we hear about fasting, a lot of times it's for religious reasons. Okay. And even that has different ways that can be done, right? Different times to cut off. People do different things with that. So, and for good reason, so this is basically it's basically kind of the same concept, okay? Um, Kara says she couldn't take that. 24 hours, you have to be strong, okay? Strong in the Lord. Okay, but honestly, when we start to talk about some of the benefits, you can see why fasting is a good thing that religious circles have taken up for so many, I don't know, centuries. Okay. And then you'll see why that is. It does have certain benefits, and there is really, really some science behind it as well. Okay. So the 24-hour fast diet involves usually 1 to 2 times a week. So you don't do it 5 days out of the week. You'll do it 1 or 2 days out of the week. Okay. The side effects can be extreme. However, we're talking fatigue, headaches, irritability, hunger, low energy. Okay. Number 4, so that's the 24-hour fasting. You don't eat at all for an entire 24 hours. Oftentimes a person may go from like breakfast time today to breakfast time tomorrow, or lunchtime today to lunchtime tomorrow. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the beginning of the day to the beginning of another day. It could be dinner to dinner. Rain says that she has done it before. Would you share with us, was that for like religious reasons? Was it just like, I'm not feeling good and I don't want to eat? If you feel comfortable to share with us, you can share why, and you can share if you've experienced any of those symptoms during that 24-hour period. Okay, so the 5-2 method. 5 to 2. This means or twice a week method. So what this refers to is the person eats normally for 5 days a week, and then for 2 days a week, they're eating the reduced calories. So 500 calorie days. Okay, 5 to 600. Okay, max. Something with the 5-2 though, you have to do a little bit more work on these days when you're kind of like quote unquote counting the calories. You'll either have to like have some specific recipes that you're using that um have some specific recipes that you're using that have the calorie count there. So you'll have to like measure or weigh your food so that you actually know what you're taking in. That's how you're gonna know. Other than that, you could just accidentally and very easily go over the calorie count for the day. Okay, Rain says that if she's busy, she forgets to eat. So yeah, I'll give y'all my thoughts. That can definitely happen. It's just like, oh my gosh, like it's 3 o'clock and I haven't had lunch yet. Happens. Could easily be me tomorrow. Today it's you, tomorrow it's me. Okay, easily. Okay, so the 5-2 method. So on the 2 days that a person is fasting, they may want to either have, they could have 2 meals, and they could have a 200 calorie meal and a 300 calorie meal. Y'all, this is not a lot of calories. So you're not eating, somebody said, let me be the first one. Greens, beans, ham, tomatoes, potatoes. It is not going to be all of that. Okay. You can't have all that, and it's going to be 2,500 calories. That's more like 2 or 3,000 calories. Okay. It's not a Thanksgiving meal on the fast days. All right. So it's going to be a really light meal. Now, what you would want to do would be to incorporate high protein and high fiber to help and keep you more full. Okay. That's going to be something like beans. You'll want to incorporate beans into your like plan on those fasting days. Okay. Getting some ideas. Like I'm thinking like I'm it's giving black bean burger vibes, but without the bun. because that's gonna push you over the calories. It's gonna be something with like black beans on, like maybe a piece of toast or something along those lines. Yeah. So someone was just saying they can't imagine what a 200-calorie meal would look like. It's a light meal, my dear. It's not a whole lot. Okay. Personally, I mean, nobody got to do this, and I'm not forcing like my religious beliefs on anybody, but this just seems like a good time to just put some prayers and some scriptures in, because your mind will be pretty clear when you're not busy thinking about what I'm going to eat next. And this is why. Oh, I'm done. Rain says she would be farting all day with all those beans. Real, okay? That one is real. All right. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. I hear that one. Yeah. But yeah, beans, beans, lentils. Listen, I have a lot of recipes for y'all, okay? I have recipes galore. If you need help finding out what a 200-calorie meal would look like, you need some ideas, I definitely have you. So thinking more plant-based, okay? Um, the intermittent fasting, and there are studies that show that the intermittent fasting also works really well in conjunction with either a plant-based diet or the Mediterranean diet. And I will go ahead and put up this information because we do have a Mediterranean meal plan that's available. If you click the link in the bio and you tap the first button under featured products, the Mediterranean 30-day Mediterranean meal plan is available there. Okay. And if anybody is interested in a vegan meal plan or just trying out some vegan meals, why don't y'all like drop that in the comments for me? And also like let me know if that's something like a topic you would want me to talk about. If that's something that you want to explore here on the live stream. I know it's very popular these days. I'll admit I'm very interested in it myself. I find this whole like food situation very interesting. Okay, we got one vote for vegan there. Yes, vegan, please. That sounds okay, promising. So I'll get on top of that for you all. But if you need, yeah, let me know. Let me know what you're interested in hearing about. If you'd like to see a vegan recipe book, or if you'd like to see a guide on how to meal plan for like meal planning for beginner vegans, if you want anything like that, let me know so that I know what I should be providing to you. Okay, let me know what it is that you want. Okay, so the 5-2 method. A lot of people use this method to reduce the risk of disease that runs in their family, or to reverse lifestyle diseases that they already have, like hypertension, high cholesterol, those types of things, diabetes. So it's actually pretty interesting. Kara says that would be awesome. Okay, Thompson Rain says she would like a recipe book. Kyra, let me know what you think would be awesome. Folks, give me an idea. Give me, if you want a recipe book, drop a 1 in the comments. If you would prefer a meal planning guide, drop a 2 in the comments. Okay, so the guide is the number 2, recipe book number 1. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry to keep talking about the food, but there's a vegan corn chowder recipe that I'm ready to try out. Okay, so I'll let y'all know. Like I'll like try to shoot some little videos and snap some little pictures and stuff, so like y'all could see what's going on. But I got a couple of things in the pipeline. Okay, so I see some number 1s there. Okay, I see some 1s and 2s. Okay, all right. Thanks for weighing in. Okay, so fun fact. There's a study that shows that women that were at risk or at higher risk for breast cancer were able to reduce their weight on the intermittent fasting way, specifically the 5-2 method. And losing weight alone already reduces the risk of cancer. Okay, researchers are hopeful that intermittent fasting may produce changes that specifically lowers, because this was kind of like general cancer. They're actually very hopeful that it's also going to produce changes for specifically breast cancer. So they're still doing some research and studies on that, but that's really, really interesting. Okay, so outside of the eating hours, so if it's a fasting day or if it's like outside the eating window, 16:8 or something like that, then you can drink water, black coffee, or other zero-calorie drinks, something like perhaps some green tea, but without the honey and the sugar and the stuff that the stuff that we like to put in there that makes it tasty to us, right? But if we start to just slowly reduce the amount of sugar and sweeteners that we are putting in items. Now, if you also have a zero-calorie sweetener, you could add that, okay? And that will be fine, but you got to keep it zero-calorie, because you only have 500 to 600 calories you could have on the 2 fasting days. Use them wisely. Okay, so we talked about how it works well with a plant-based or Mediterranean diet. Intermittent fasting is not for you. It's not for you if Raina's making me laugh. She says sugar dad, no sugar. I kind of feel you on that. Um, my my best solution has been to just, first of all, get off the white sugar. Okay, if you're still using white sugar, please get off of that. There are so many different types of sugar that you could be using that are that are not as harmful to your body. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I look at white sugar now and it looks like crack cocaine. Like, I'm literally only using that if I can't find anything else. Um, that looked like crack cocaine to me. I'm not even gonna lie. It looks strange to me now. It's kind of like when you switch from animal milk to soy or almond milk. Like, the regular milk suddenly looks and tastes weird to you, right? Brown sugar, coconut sugar, organic sugar, honey, stevia. We have so many options these days. Okay, that we could really put something a lot better in our bodies if we have to. My best option has been to, of course, switch from the white to brown or natural sugar and or honey, and then like cutting back the amount that you put, like, gradually. So that's what I'm doing. So I would say that I have a sweet tooth, and I would say that I have been a sugar lover in the past. Um, I still like it, but I don't have as much. I really try to cut it back because it could put a lot of weight. Okay, but we're coming to that. Okay, intermittent fasting is not for you if you are pregnant. Don't bother. Okay, baby needs nutrition. Come see me after you have dealt with that, and I'll help you with the baby weight. Okay, so it's not for you if you are pregnant. It's not for you if you are yourself a child. Okay, body is still developing. No fasting, no dieting. Okay, let your body develop. It's not for you if you suffer from chronic disease. Okay, like you need to eat. You're diabetic. You need more than 500 to 600 calories. Okay, you suffer from chronic disease. No intermittent fasting, please. You are at risk for hypoglycemia. You need the sugar. Okay, you need enough in your diet. Okay, you have had an eating disorder in the past. We don't want to revisit that. Okay, so potential side effects of intermittent fasting, and I am winding down. I apologize. I was about 5 minutes late today, y'all. I am so sorry. Longer day at the office than usual. So please have my apologies, okay? All right. Side effects of intermittent fasting can be persistent hunger, temperature sensitivity, poor work and activity performance, irritability, okay? Low energy, all right? Rain says she's only been putting 2 spoonfuls in her coffee. 2 spoonfuls. Like, once again, I feel you, because it makes the coffee taste good. Okay. If you are not somebody that actually likes coffee, you tend to fill it up with sugar, and then you realize that you don't even really like coffee. I used to say, I don't really like coffee. I just like a little coffee with my cream and sugar. So it's like you got to start to scale it back. I used to be a 2 heaping spoonful person myself. So I've just, you just cut it back a little bit. It's hard to say, well, I'm just going to drink my coffee black unless you actually love coffee. So maybe, from the 2 tablespoons or 2 teaspoons, a person could, these would be the types of tips that I would give to my coaching clients. Go ahead and take it down to try a spoon and a half. Okay. Once you get used to the taste of that, then try 1 spoon. Okay. So it's like you keep cutting it back, cutting it back, cutting it back. And really, if you give these changes a chance, you won't notice it as much anymore. You really won't miss it as much as you think that you will. It's the cold turkey that tends to be like much more difficult. Okay. All right. For anybody also that would be interested in any health coaching service, you can go to bit.ly/health coach Felicia. If you are on Instagram, then you click the link in the bio and you scroll down to the section that says work with me. And there's a button that says your health coach. And you click that button to get the details. All right. So let's talk about the benefits. Okay. So these are going to be our take home to mama points. Okay. So you have number 1, weight loss and inches from the waistline. Okay. Hi, Hermisha Green. We're just wrapping up by talking about the benefits of intermittent fasting. Number 1, weight loss and lost inches from the waistline. Number 2, improved metabolism. Number 3, reduced blood pressure. Number 4, reduced production of IGF-1. This is a hormone that plays a role in cancer development. So there's a reduction in IGF-1. Number 5, activates processes that repair cells and cuts insulin production. Okay. Potentially, this is number 6, potentially reduces risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. So it helps brain function. Okay. This is why it's good, like when you fast, like for religious reasons, it's a good time to like get down into those Bible verses and things like that. Your brain is literally scientifically functioning better. Okay. Without all of the bad food that we're oftentimes putting into our bodies. Number 7, some people have noticed improved mood and energy over time. Okay. Probably not at first when you kind of like weak and really missing that food. But over time, you will start to feel better. And people have reported waking up feeling more positive